Have you ever lost something very precious? Something you searched for everywhere? Let's lock in this thought. There was a man named Chand Patil. He was the head of a village called Dupkhed. One day he lost his mare, a beautiful horse that he loved very much. He looked for her for 2 long months. He searched in the forests, near the rivers, and across the fields, but the mare was nowhere to be found. He felt very sad and tired. He had almost given up hope. He thought he would never see his beloved animal again. This feeling of loss, it can be very heavy on the heart, can it not? As Chand Patil continued his long and desperate search, he came across a young fakir. A fakir is a holy man who has very few worldly possessions. This young man was sitting peacefully under a mango tree. He had a cap on his head, wore a long robe called a kafni, and carried a satka, which is a short stick. The fakir looked calm, as if he knew everything in the world. He saw the worry on Chand Patil's face and called out to him. He asked, "What are you looking for? Why do you look so troubled?" His voice was gentle and full of compassion, making Chand Patil feel a little bit of comfort. Chand Patil, feeling a glimmer of hope, told the fakir about his lost mare. He explained how he had been searching for 2 whole months and was now feeling completely helpless. The fakir smiled kindly. He pointed towards a nearby stream and said, "Do not worry. Go look near that stream. Your mare is grazing there." Chand Patil was surprised. How could this stranger know about his horse? Still, he decided to trust the fakir. He walked towards the stream, and to his absolute astonishment, he found his mare. She was safe and sound, just as the fakir had said. Chand Patil's heart was filled with immense joy and gratitude. Overjoyed, Chand Patil brought his mare back to the fakir. He knew this was no ordinary person. He understood that he had met someone truly special, someone with divine power. As they sat together, the fakir prepared to smoke his chilim, a clay pipe. But he needed 2 things: fire to light the pipe and water to wet the cloth for the chilim. The fakir simply pushed his tongs into the ground, and magically, a burning piece of coal appeared. Then he hit the ground with his sack, and water started to flow from that very spot. Chand Patil watched in complete awe. He had just witnessed 2 miracles. He was now certain this fakir was a great saint. After witnessing such incredible miracles, Chand Patil was completely convinced of the fakir's divine nature. He bowed down to the young saint and with great respect, he invited him to his home. He wanted his family to receive the blessings of this holy man. The fakir, who was kind and humble, accepted the invitation. He stayed at Chand Patil's house for some time. The family served him with a lot of love and devotion. The entire household felt a sense of peace and happiness just by having him there. His presence was like a light that filled their home with positive energy and grace. Sometime later, a happy occasion was planned. It was the wedding of Chand Patil's wife's nephew. The wedding party had to travel from Dupkhed to a small village called Shirdi. Chand Patil could not imagine making this important journey without the divine presence of the fakir. He requested the saint to come with them to the wedding. He believed that the fakir's presence would bring good luck and blessings to the new couple and the entire family. The young saint, who always went where devotion called him, agreed to accompany the wedding procession to Shirdi. This decision would change the destiny of Shirdi forever. The journey was filled with joy and celebration. The wedding party traveled in bullock carts, singing and laughing along the way. When they finally reached the outskirts of Shirdi, they stopped near the Khandoba temple. This temple was a very important place for the villagers. As the young fakir stepped down from the cart, the priest of the temple, a man named Mahalsapati, saw him. Seeing the divine glow on the fakir's face, Mahalsapati felt a deep connection. He instinctively greeted the young saint with the words, "Ao, Sai," which means, "Welcome, Sai." This was a moment of great significance. From that day forward, the world would know this fakir by the name Sai Baba. The name Sai means saint or holy one, and Baba means father or respected elder. The name given by Mahalsapati stuck, and it became his identity for all time. He had arrived in Shirdi, not as a visitor, but as its spiritual father, its guiding light. The people of Shirdi did not know it yet, but this humble saint who arrived with a wedding party was destined to make their small village a famous place of pilgrimage, a place where millions would come seeking solace and blessings for generations to come. When Sai Baba first arrived in Shirdi, his life was one of extreme simplicity. He did not seek comfort or shelter. For a long time, he chose to live under a large neem tree. This tree became his first home. It protected him from the sun and the rain. He would spend many hours meditating under its branches, often lost in deep spiritual thought. His presence made the neem tree a sacred place. People noticed something strange about this tree. The leaves on the branch directly above where Baba sat were not bitter like other neem leaves. They were sweet. This was seen as another sign of his divine power. In Shirdi, there were other holy souls, and Baba had contact with them. He respected saints like Devidas and Janakidas. He also spent time with a man named Gangagir, who immediately recognized Baba's greatness, calling him a precious jewel. Baba's daily routine was simple and filled with purpose. He would wake up early and wander through the village. He never begged for food directly, but would accept whatever was offered with love. His most notable task was watering plants. He would carry 2 earthen pots, fill them with water from the well, and water 2 small young banyan and peepal saplings. This simple act showed his love for all living things. Baba's love for nature led him to create a beautiful garden. The land, which was barren and unused, was transformed by his hard work. He single-handedly cleared the ground, planted seeds, and watered them every day. Soon, a lush garden full of beautiful flowers like jasmine and marigolds bloomed. He would make garlands from these flowers and give them to the local temples. This beautiful garden, which he called Lendi Baug, became a place of peace and beauty. It showed everyone that with love and effort, even a barren land can become a paradise. He taught a great lesson without saying a single word. Years later, a devotee from Mumbai had a vision. In his vision, he was told to install sacred footprints, known as padukas, under the very same neem tree where Baba first lived. He came to Shirdi, and with the blessings of the villagers and Baba, the padukas were installed in a grand ceremony. An inscription was placed there stating that this tree was the home of his guru. This act forever marked the spot as a place of great spiritual importance. The padukas serve as a constant reminder of Baba's early days in Shirdi and his deep connection with the sacred neem tree, a place where his spiritual journey in the village truly began. For many years, Sai Baba lived a quiet life, but one event changed how people saw him. There was a famous wrestler named Mohideen Tamboli who challenged Baba to a wrestling match. Baba, who was usually very peaceful, accepted the challenge. To everyone's surprise, the slender fakir defeated the strong wrestler. After this victory, something inside Baba seemed to change. He stopped wrestling and started wearing a simple, torn kafni and a cloth around his head. His whole way of dressing and behaving became even more humble. It was as if he was teaching everyone that true victory is not over others, but over one's own ego. Baba moved from the neem tree to a ruined and abandoned mosque, which he named Dwarkamai. This became his home for the rest of his life. Every evening, he had a beautiful habit of lighting earthen lamps, or diyas, all around the mosque. To do this, he needed oil, which he would get as donations from the shopkeepers in the village. One day, the shopkeepers decided to test him. They refused to give him any oil, saying they had none left. They wanted to see what the fakir would do without oil for his lamps. This was a test of faith, for them and for Baba. Unperturbed by their refusal, Sai Baba returned to the Dwarkamai with his empty oil tin. He calmly took the tin of water that he used for drinking and poured it into the lamps. The shopkeepers who had followed him watched from a distance, mocking him. They thought he was foolish to try lighting lamps with water. But then, a miracle happened. Baba took a wick, placed it in a lamp filled with water, and lit it. To the absolute amazement of everyone watching, the lamp burned as brightly as if it were filled with the finest oil. He then lit all the other lamps with water, and the entire Dwarkamai glowed with a divine light. This miracle of turning water into oil spread through the village like wildfire. The shopkeepers who had doubted him came running, fell at his feet, and begged for forgiveness. They understood that Sai Baba was not an ordinary man, but a person with immense divine power. From that day on, their faith in him was unbreakable. Despite his growing fame and the many miracles he performed, Baba always lived a simple life. He begged for his food, shared it with animals and the poor, and taught everyone the message of Shraddha, faith, and Saburi, patience. This is why people loved him. He was a great saint, but he lived like the humblest of servants, showing that true greatness lies in humility and love for all.